Look at this top equation here. X is here, and X is here, and X is there. Now, what we want is we want X to be the subject. We want X by itself on one side. So, always worthwhile to think about where we're going. So that's what we want. We want X there. So how can we go from here to here? Well, something you should remember is if this is an X there, there's a times there, so it's A times X plus X times B plus X times C. And if we multiply two things together, it means that they're factors. And if we've got an X here and an X there and an X there, we've got common factors. So we can factorize with an X, and what are we left with? Well, X times what? A plus B plus C. And that equals A times B times C. Don't get those two things confused. Now ask yourself, well, what are you doing to the X? Multiplying it, so now we divide. No, by A plus B plus C. Yep, we're going to do it on both sides. Divide both sides by A plus B plus C. Now anything divided by itself is 1. So then X is equal to A, B, C over A plus B plus C. And we don't care what A, B, and C are. Yay. Moving on. Once again, in solving these equations, you want to undo whatever's been done to get the X where it is. So at the moment, X is on the denominator. How do we change denominators? Well, let's see. If we got 2 3/4 and we multiply it by 4, what do we end up with? 3. Okay, in other words, the denominators become a 1. 4 divided by 4 is a 1. And we just left with the numerator. So I'm going to do that on the left side. Multiply the left side by X. Multiply that by X. And, oops, the times looks like that. And we multiply the right side by X as well. B over A times X. So that's on this side. We're just going to be left with the numerator, and that's 1. And on the right side, we're left with B over A times X. So, well, we just want X by itself. So what are we multiplying X by? B over A. How can we get that into a 1? We could divide by B over A, but I want to introduce you or show you another technique. How can we make a 1 from a fraction? So once again, if I've got 3/4, what must I multiply it by to get 1?
1. No, I don't mind.
Remember, I might have spoken about I have the multiplicative inverse. So we multiply it by the same fraction, just it appears upside down. That's a 1, that's a 1, so that equals 1. So what must we multiply the right side by? But if we did it on that side, we must do it on this side, times A over B. So therefore, X is equal to A over B. You would get the same result if you divided both sides by